Hi, you watching your favorite YouTube channel, Learning Digital. Here we learn digital world things, so subscribe this channel for more digital world videos. Welcome back. In the last task, we used the spreadsheet we created to determine the number of boxes each building needed for the Acme company move and the total boxes needed for the entire move. In this task, we'll take the database we have created and use some formatting to make the information a little easier to read. Let's start. You should have your workbook Acme Company Move open. Go to NX2, click on that worksheet if you are not already on it. Now we need to make some changes to the spreadsheet so that anyone, such as the moving company reading this, can understand exactly what they are looking at. So for example, let's go ahead and bold our headers. To do this, you are going to click on the number 1, which will then in turn highlight the entire row. On the Home tab, you'll see this capital B, that B stands for bold. Go ahead and click on that. You'll notice the change in the font has now become bolded. So next, we are also going to underline these phrases so that they know these are the header rows, and this is the information they should be looking at. In this case, you'll see these 3 dots. Click on Underline, and now you'll notice that these are underlined and more readily visible as a header to our row. Next, we are going to be able to maybe create this so that it's a little easier to read. If we look at column C, the dates of the move is now not easy to read and date of move is not cut off. We need to auto-format our columns so that their appropriate size and all of the information is visible when reading the spreadsheet. So what we are going to do is we are going to highlight the entire spreadsheet by clicking up here in this corner. When you do, you'll notice the entire spreadsheet has now been highlighted. You are going to take your cursor and you will move it until it becomes a kind of a barbell looking thing in between a 1 and a. When you see that, you double click and this will automatically format to the right width for each of your columns based upon the information that is in there. So as you can see, boxes in cube are smaller than, say, the name and the date of the move simply because the information in those cells are not as large. The next step to make things a little easier to read to the eye is we are going to add borders to the information that we have. So in this case, we are going to click on a 1, and while we are there, we are going to hold the left button down of our mouse, drag it completely over to the last column we have data and all the way down to the last row that we have all the information for all 4 columns. Once we do that, we are going to go back up to the ribbon. Next to the B, you'll see borders. We'll click on the drop down or the caret, click on that, and now the borders are completely taken into breaking up the data and making it a little easier on the eyes. Now that we have Annex 2 done, let's go and do the same process we did with Annex 1. Click on Annex A. First thing we are going to do is we are going to bold our header names. We highlight that row, go up here to the ribbon, find B for bold, and click. Next thing we are going to do to signify that it is actually a header, we are going to underline that information. We are going to go to More Font Options, click Underline, and all things are underlined. Next, we want to make sure that all information can be visible in the columns. We are going to highlight our entire worksheet by clicking right here, and as we click right there, we are going to take our cursor, create the little dumbbell in between, and double-click quickly, and at this point, it will auto-format to the appropriate width of the columns that we need. And then finally, we are going to repeat our process by adding borders on. Since we've already used the all borders once, it defaults to that. We'll click on that, and the same thing will be added. Easy to read. Again, if you need additional time, please stop the video and resume when you are ready. Now, as you can see on each tab, it's very easy to read and know what information we were looking for. This allows us and everyone else to be able to read the database of information that we have with no additional information. I encourage you to play with the borders, the font options, and see what other types of things you can do. The more comfortable you get with making these changes, the easier it will be. Congratulations on completing getting started with Microsoft Excel. You've learned how to create your own workbook and worksheets. You started to learn how to use the navigation and ribbon of the program. You know how to format your data to make it easier to read and create basic formulas to begin to analyze your data. You can start using Excel even in your daily life to keep up your skills. Items such as your own family move or vacation items that need to be packed, inventory of your pantry staples, or bills that need